playing with 4 midfielders. Mittelstädt on the left, and Wagnermann, Joshua Wagnermann, German international, on the right. And the 2 central midfielders there are Angelo Stiller, also German, and Atakan Karazor. In front of them, you have Chris Führich, formidable player, Bilal El Kanu, and the lone striker is Dennis Undav, also a German international.
Right, so let's take a look at the Leipzig lineup. Ole Werner, he makes 4 changes to the team that beat 3rd Division Cottbus in the German Cup in midweek. Gulaschi, Castello Luqueba, Asan Wedraogo, and Yann Diomande are recalled as Werner reverts to last weekend's triumphant 11, and triumphant they were indeed, Bouba, because they won in Augsburg by 6-0. So,
yeah, Ole Werner versus Sebastian Hoeneß. Who do you think is going to triumph today?
I think Leipzig are in such good form. I think they are the 2nd best team in the Bundesliga behind Bayern Munich. I don't think anybody's going to stop them. They're in great form and they're a really good side.
I have to say, though, since Stuttgart lost Seho Girassi to Borussia Dortmund, he used to play very, very well with Dennis Undav in the front there. They used to have so much fun. At the moment, Dennis Undav is holding the fort.
Indeed. And Girassi, we're pleased to say, scored at last. Last night, he got his 5th Bundesliga goal this season for Dortmund. Maybe he's back to form now, Seho Girassi. And Dortmund, as Bouba said, they're in 2nd place at the moment. Off we go in the Red Bull Arena, and it's Leipzig in white shirts and red shorts, and Stuttgart in their dark away strip, hoping to come away with a good result here. Both clubs triumphant in the German Cup. Stuttgart beating Mainz 2-0 in midweek. That's the 2nd time in a few days that they beat Mainz, because they beat them in the Bundesliga last week too. And Leipzig, as we said, were very good in Cottbus against 3rd Division opposition, winning by 4-1. And we saw some youngsters there given a chance. Banzuzi played for Leipzig, and so did El Shaddai Bichiabo. He was in the starting lineup. Good player, Bichiabo, but he's French Congolese, but he'll be disappointed, the former PSG player, to be on the bench again today, but his time is sure to come. Let's see what Leipzig can do. They beat Augsburg 6-0, and that was some result. Romelu lays the ball across. Opportunity, and the ball rolling past the post, and you can see who is in command very early on, Bouba.
You can see Leipzig are definitely in command there with the Baku, with that opportunity from the right-hand side, taking that shot down the road. Is that Baku?
It is Baku, the right back, yes. The German
I was
Congolese.
not sure because he's a right-back defender, and suddenly he's like right in the
he loves to go forward, Baku. Let's just remind our listeners why his name is Riedle Baku, because his father liked former Germany striker Karl-Heinz Riedle, and he liked him so much that he named his son Riedle. So that's why it's Riedle Baku. He's DOC heritage, and doing very well for Leipzig, the right back. He plays for Germany too, began his career at Mainz.
That's right. He chose to play for Germany and not the DR Congo or Congo Republic. No, it's the DR Congo.
Here comes David Raum, the left back, in the penalty area. Chance for Raum. Oh, he could have placed that one better past Nübel. Raum was clear through. Nübel didn't really come out of his goal.
Not really. But I think it's a really good defending there by Alexander Nübel. He's so, it was a really good defense. There was an opportunity there for David Raum.
I think he should have cut inside more than drive out to the left.
This is where skillful players show their mouth, because they don't just dribble continue to dribble in there. They should just like cut in.
But of course, he's a left back, not a striker. In comes the corner for Leipzig, headed away firmly by Jeff Chabot, the central defender for Stuttgart. And this is Chris Führich on a chance here to run at the Leipzig defense. Plays it through. Opportunity here for Undaf.
It's on onside. It's onside, Undaf. What did he do? He's been brought down. It looks like it.
Is it? No, it was offside. It was offside. Undaf taking a knock there to his knee. And let me tell you who the referee is today. Is 35-year-old FIFA referee Sven Jablonski from Bremen. He's a banking clerk by trade. And he's the man in charge there. Now, Bouba, was that a good tackle by Baku, or was it a foul?
It was a clever tackle. The contact was with the ball, not with Undaf. And Baku succeeded in actually disturbing. And this is what makes a good defender, you know?
Yeah, like he was up at the other end a few moments ago with that shot. And now he's defending very well for Leipzig. Here is Maximilian Mittelstädt, another Germany international, plays the ball forward. Opportunity for El Kanoussi. He's the Moroccan, 3 goals for Stuttgart, and he's looked good since signing from Leicester City, El Kanoussi, and we'll just have to wait and see if his career continues to be as successful as it's been in the past few weeks. So it's a goal kick for Gulaschi. Sends it forward. Leipzig trying to build here. Romelu on the ball, but he's brought down. And it's a free kick to Leipzig. Romelu, the Brazilian, who's looked quite good, actually. At last, they've got a centre forward, Leipzig, after. This is Diomande. Diomande taking on the defenders. Very good work by Diomande.
Oh!
The Yann Diomande, Ivorian winger, born in Abidjan. He joined Leipzig in July. He was before that at the DME Academy in the USA. And he also played for Leganes in Spain. And he's very fast, Yann Diomande. 34.5 kilometers. He's a left-sided dribbler. But we've also seen him play on the right wing. Certainly given the trust by his coach. He scored his first Bundesliga goal and debut goal for the Ivory Coast at 18, and plenty of action when he's on the ball, Yann Diomande. So Stuttgart trying to calm things down and playing the ball around in their dark away strip. And let's see what they can conjure up. This is Chabot, the former Cologne defender. Finds Fürich, but good work by Leipzig, who for me are the best team behind Bayern Munich, Bouba.
I agree, but somehow, I don't know. I've never had that much sympathy for Leipzig. I don't know why. There's no reason for it, but it is a Bundesliga team, and it's actually one of the best. So.
It's one of the very best indeed, yes. Leipzig, of course, doing very well. The Red Bulls.
Maybe because for me it's not a traditional
football
club.
Most German fans aren't very happy because of Leipzig's strong corporate backing. That goes against Germany's traditional way of running football clubs, and we all know that Red Bull are in charge of RB Leipzig. However, other supporters see RB Leipzig as a positive effort to build lasting success for the Bundesliga in Eastern Germany, because they are the only Eastern German club. Teams have usually struggled there since reunification.
But I think people need to understand the story behind the forming of RB Leipzig. Or
2009 they were founded.
That's right.
Can you believe it?
No, the team never existed before. Yeah. And when Red Bull, to go against Germany's 50+1 rule, which I will talk a bit more about in the halftime show, so they created this fake club called Rasenball Fußball RB, which is not really meaning Red Bull, so it's called Rasenball, or how do you call that in English?
It would be a lawn ball club. Yeah.
So you can see why people are not happy with it, because like they try to play around with that Red Bull RB to call it,
because they're not allowed to call themselves Red Bull.
That's right. So they say RB Leipzig, and as a result, they created this membership from their owners or from their, workers at Red Bull itself, and that's how they came to be.
Yeah, they certainly rose quickly through the ranks of German football from 2009 when they were in the Division 5. Suddenly, they were in the Bundesliga in 2016, and they've been then various times in the Champions League.
That's right.
This is Stuttgart trying to launch an attack, but it breaks down, and he's forced all the way back. That is Wagnermann, Joshua Wagnermann, who is, of course, German Ivorian. Stuttgart have got quite a few players of African descent. They've got on the benches Laurent Assignon. He's a new French Togolese player. The Joshua Wagnermann, I just mentioned him, Ivorian dad, German mother. Dan Axel Zagadou, he's a veteran. He played in midweek in central defence. He's French Ivorian. Justin Deal, he's injured. He's German Ghanaian. Silas, we've got him. We've had him in the Bundesliga for years. Bilal El Kanous, he's the Moroccan that I just told you about, who signed from Leicester City. And then they got Nicholas Nartai, Danish Ghanaian. New signing Baredine Bouanani, he's Algerian. He signed from Nice in Ligue 1. Then Jamie Leveling,
Right.
he's German Ghanaian.
The incredible Jamie Leveling.
Yeah, but he's a very interesting story there. Jamie Leveling, he's German, French, and Ghanaian descent.
Right. And he was actually qualified to play for all of these countries.
For all these countries. Here comes Wagnermann down the right wing, Stuttgart, trying to trouble them. Good header there.
Good header.
Was that Undaf? I think
That
it was.
is Undaf, that's right.
But as you said before, Bouba, I think Undaf misses playing with Serhou Guirassy.
If Guirassy had been there, that would have been a possible goal for Stuttgart.
And to be quite honest, I think Guirassy misses playing with Undaf.
I think so. I mean, he's having fun at Borussia Dortmund, but not as he used to at Stuttgart.
Yeah, he used to just keep on knocking in the goals, Guirassy, at Stuttgart. At Dortmund, things a little bit more difficult. He doesn't get as much service as I think he would like to have. Leipzig, would you believe, they've been forced back at the moment by Stuttgart. And as I said, I really think Leipzig are going to win this game. But they've got to be careful because Stuttgart are a good side. And you can't take it for granted that they'll be under the cosh as much as the other opposition were. I mean, Leipzig, Bouba, they scored 10 goals in half a week. 6 against Augsburg last week and 4 against Energie Cottbus in the Cup. That's 10 goals in, few days. Yeah,
and not to forget that Stuttgart also, they've quite recently tasted the pole position when they were third or second on the Bundesliga table 2 years ago when Bayer Leverkusen became champion. I think Stuttgart was second or third on the table.
Yeah, and we mustn't forget Stuttgart are the current cup holders, the DFB Cup holders.
Right. So they know what victory is. You can never write them off. RB Leipzig, I've got to be careful here.
Here are Leipzig trying to build. This is Lukeba, Castello Lukeba. Good player, Castello Lukeba. French Angolan. And back in the side after El Shaddai Bichiabo was given the game against Cottbus in midweek. Played very well, El Shaddai Bichiabo. I just wonder how long they can keep him happy on the bench, Bichiabo. He's a good defender. He's around 6'7", and he came from the PSG academy, as so many Bundesliga players have done from the Paris Saint-Germain academy. You just wonder how they can afford to sell them. But of course, they've got an excellent team and are the current Champions League holders. This is Wagnermann for Stuttgart. Plays the ball across. Lukeba. Calm nerves there by Castello Lukeba. And he finds Antonio Nusa, the Nigerian-Norwegian. Long ball out of defence, but there's nobody there. Plenty of players of African descent. For Leipzig, of course, we told you about Yann Diomande of the Ivory Coast. Then on the bench, there's Yohan Bakayoko, the Belgium international, Belgium Congolese player. Castello Lukeba, I told you about, French Angola. Reed Labaku, German DOC. Antonio Musa, a Norwegian Nigerian. El Shaddai Bichiabo, French Congolese. And of course, Hassan Ouedraogo, he's German Burkina Faso.
Wow.
And
RB Stuttgart, sorry for interrupting there. Stuttgart, they've just this is possession football. They're marching onto RB Leipzig at the moment.
And that is a difficult thing to do because I can tell you, Leipzig are the second best team in the country. I keep saying that because I believe it. Let me just finish off with the African players or of African descent. We mustn't forget, of course, Ezekiel Banzuzi. He's Dutch-Congolese. He's a new signing. And, of course, Amadou Haidara of Mali. He's been injured. And then there's a new signing, Tidiam Gomi. He's French-Senegalese. And another injured player, Joyeux Masanga Bung. He's Belgian-Congolese. So there we are. Plenty of players of African descent at Leipzig. That is amazing.
That is amazing. I can say for sure Leipzig is one of those Bundesliga clubs that do not hesitate to bring in young African talent.
Exactly.
Or like notching them up. We've seen likes of, Christopher Nkunku. He's not
Nkunku,
African.
yeah, we
French
forgot him, yes.
as well. You know, he spent a lot of time there and he had a lot of fun. And even Sadio Mane used to play there for Leipzig, and like Naby Keita before he went for Liverpool, he was at Leipzig. Naby Keita, a lot of good African players all came from RB Leipzig. Anyways, a big shout out to all of our listeners across our partner stations in Africa. We have UBC Radio in Uganda. We have Ray Power Radio in Nigeria. You guys, thank you for listening to us. And also go to our YouTube page, DW Africa. Listen to this game there live, or actually join in the conversation. You guys are talking about what is happening and your predictions. Go there, DW Africa on YouTube page.
Right, so we were talking about Guirassy. He scored his 5th Bundesliga goal. He's on par with Uzun of Frankfurt and Baumgartner, of course, of Leipzig. All of them on 5. Then the German striker in great form is Johnny Burkhardt. He plays for Eintracht Frankfurt, used to be for Mainz. He's on 6 goals, and Harry Kane, of course, on 12 goals at the moment. And don't forget, there's the big game tonight. Bayern Munich play Bayer Leverkusen.
That is the match of the weekend. Bayern Munich, Bayer Leverkusen.
That's a late kickoff, of course. And Bayern Munich showing that they were in tremendous form in midweek too, when they beat Cologne in Cologne by 4-1 in the German Cup. What a game that was.
What a game that was. Even though Cologne put up one of their very, very best performance, I would say they lost, but I was quite happy about how they played against Bayern. And
in the opening 20 minutes, should we say?
Yeah, but even to the 2 points where it's hard to play against Bayern.
They were in the league of their own.
They're too good. They're too good right now. Bayern is just too good.
Surely their chances of winning the Champions League are very high.
They're very, very high.
Don't forget, they play PSG.
I would be so happy for Harry Kane if Bayern finally wins the Champions League, or he finally wins the Champions League. Also for Vincent Kompany is doing a tremendous job with Bayern Munich at the moment.
Massive game coming up, Bouba, in midweek in the Champions League. Bayern travel to Paris to face PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. The holders. The
holders of the Champions League. That is going to be a match. And if we see Bayern defeating Paris Saint-Germain, I wouldn't rule them out for winning the Champions League.
Don't forget Désiré Doué, the young French star. He's injured. He missed that game. But they've got so many good young players.
Kvaratskhelia
is a fantastic side.
PSG at the moment is just difficult to beat. But Bayern is in form.
Yeah.
You never know.
What a game that's going to be. Yeah. And of course, there's Liverpool, Real Madrid, another massive clash in midweek in the Champions League.
I'm so looking forward to those games.
Yeah. Foul on Mittelstädt. The game has, shall we say, not really taken off yet. It's 0-0. And neither Leipzig nor Stuttgart taking command here. And there are no goals in any of the other games. Mainz face Werder Bremen.
Except my side is down. 1 goal.
Already, Mönchengladbach. They've scored. Bouba, you've got to be brave. Borussia Mönchengladbach, they've taken the lead.
Now, actually, I'm looking at here. I see Union Berlin, Freiburg, and Freiburg up 1-0.
Okay. So we have 2 goals indeed. One is Freiburg going 1-0 up at Union Berlin.
Yeah.
Surprisingly that, because Freiburg are winless in 4 Bundesliga games. And we had keeper Noah Atubolu. He was rested in midweek for their cup win. Fine save that by Gulashi Strong shot from Mittelstädt. And that's the closest we've come to a goal there. And we've just seen a very good save by Gulashi, pulling off a fine stop. So Noah Atubulu, the German-Nigerian, he's in goal for Leipzig again. Union are just a point better off than Freiburg, and the Berliners have only scored in one of their last 4 league games, so they've got to improve, Bouba.
They've got to improve, but I have to say, this season, Stefan Baumgart, the coach, is doing an okay job with the team, so I'm happy.
What do you think of the ideas of wanting to build a bigger stadium for Union Berlin?
I think it's a good idea because...
But, of course, you mustn't forget that they'll have to move to the Olympic Stadium where Hertha Berlin play until the new one is built.
Yeah, and what people forget is that the Alten Försterei, that is the home of Union Berlin, as most people know it. This is a stadium that was built by the fans with their bare hands. They brought in their shovel, their wheelbarrows, their pickaxe. They literally built that stadium, and they want a bigger stadium. Obviously, if Union Berlin wants to look into Champions League, we've been in Champions League one time.
They did really like it. They did.
We're not really ready because we're not playing at the Alten Försterei. We have to go play on the opposing pitch. So that alone, you know, it's not a good thing. But at the same time, football is football, and with Union Berlin and the fans, everyone is looking forward to a bigger something. So yes, I am definitely for it.
Yeah, they got a few African players too of African descent. Stanley Nzoki, he's French-Congolese. Derek Kern, he's German-Ghanaian. Then a new German-Nigerian, Olawesum Okbemudia, and a player who's really making a name for himself for Union Berlin, Ilyas Ansah. He's German-Ghanaian, and he's been amongst the goals. And Freiburg, they've got plenty of players of African descent. In goal, of course, Noah Atubulu, the German-Nigerian, plays for the Germany under-21s. Then we've got Bruno Okbus, he's Swiss-Nigerian. Jody Makengo for Freiburg, he's French-Congolese. Daniel Kofi Kire, he's Ghanaian. And then a new guy from Burkina Faso, Syriac Irie. Junior Adamu, he's Austrian-Nigerian. And a new Swiss player, Johan Manzambi, his parents are from Angola and the Democratic Republic of Congo. So plenty of players of African descent in those squads.
Johan Manzambi, we saw how good he was at the last games of the African Chan. Sorry, not the Chan, the African Cup. Sometimes it's a bit difficult. AFCON, that's the word I'm looking for.
Which will be in December and January, am I right?
Yeah, it's coming. AFCON is coming back again soon.
Okay.
So, all the qualifications are over. And no, actually, we're going into the second. There are some sports that still needs to be filled. So we have some playoffs for those second positions. So we will see. Maybe Nigeria might find itself there, probably. We don't know. So far, Nigeria is
certainly among the favorites. Certainly among the
favorites, but surprisingly, Nigeria hasn't qualified yet.
Well, that's sure to come. Here, it's 0-0 between Leipzig and Stuttgart. Leipzig in third and Stuttgart in fourth. And there was a collision there between Jeff Chabot and Romelu, the centre forward, and the Brazilians on the ground. He needs treatment. No, he doesn't. He gets up. Two big men colliding there with their heads. So let's hope they're okay. Romelu is back up. He's certainly, shall we say, a very important player because Leipzig need a target man. They need a target man up front.
Right.
Throw in for Stuttgart. Will they wake up? Can they trouble Leipzig? Can Leipzig beat their way back into this game? Unbeaten in 8 games, RB Leipzig. And if you ask the players, they say team spirit is the reason. Very good team spirit. They're enjoying themselves, but they've not really found each other today yet. I mean, I'm really being spoiled because we saw them play a few times this season, RB Leipzig, against Hamburg, and they were very good against a strong Hamburg side.
Right.
So, and then that 6-0 victory last week in Augsburg just makes you wonder how long Sandro Wagner can keep on to his job. Because they did play well, though, last night against Borussia Dortmund, but they lost again. And Augsburg in big trouble at the moment.
Right. Of course, when you mention Sandro Wagner, people need to know who that is. Sandro Wagner is a German international who, until recently, was the deputy coach of the German national team. He was working with Julian Nagelsmann at the German national team before.
I was quite surprised that he left.
Yeah, I was also quite surprised because I was hoping that he could become the next coach for the German national team. But of course, he chose to take his career elsewhere
to the Bundesliga.
And now he's the coach for
Augsburg. Here is Nusa for Leipzig, taking on two defenders. Cuts inside. Nusa.
Fine effort. That was a brilliant one.
Very, very well done by Nusa. And I think the goalie would have been beaten there. Excellent effort by Antonio Nusa, who has turned out to be such a good signing for Leipzig. The Norwegian-Nigerian there. Good effort.
Good effort by Antonio Nusa. He succeeded in going past Joshua Wagnerman there.
Corner to Leipzig. It's going to be taken by David Raum, the left back. He's the Germany international, and what a player he is. Raises his arm. In it comes, bends it across, but it sails over the crossbar from Baumgartner's header.
It was a header there from Baumgartner, but didn't go quite well. I have to say that I really enjoy Baumgartner's football match, especially when it comes to playing for his national side, Austria. It's been really, really good. And couple of seasons, I thought, maybe this is probably the end for Baumgartner, but I have to say, I'm happy the way he turned things around for himself.
Jeff Chabot takes the free kick and plays it back to his keeper, Alexander Nübel, who stands a good chance of being in the Germany squad for the World Cup in summer in the US, Canada, and Mexico. Here comes Stuttgart. Oh, on that far side. This is Führich, and that means danger, but it's cleared well by Lukeba, Castello Lukeba. Ole Werners, the Leipzig coach, and his football style with aggressive pressing and quick transitions closely resembles the kind of football that Leipzig always like to play, this aggressive pressing, quick transitions, and they found a coach who represents that style. Things didn't really work out under Marco Rose, who was in charge beforehand. Werner doesn't really rely on long possession phases like Rose used to like to do. He prefers the explosive type of football. But Stuttgart have been coping very well. In to the penalty area, the ball from El Khanouchi, but it's cleared very nicely there by Castello Lukeba, who has made a name for himself in that back four alongside Willi Orban, the Hungarian international. And it's a throw into Stuttgart, taken by Vaschkoman, just below us. That's the Stuttgart right. Good work here by Stuttgart, but the ball is cleared upfield by Leipzig, but Leipzig somehow not in control of this game.
You have to say that. I see Stuttgart a lot more with the ball.
Yeah,
if you look at the stats right now, Stuttgart
gaining possession more and more.
Yeah, they are. Ball possessions is definitely in favor. They have more pass accuracy, 92% compared to, Leipzig 77%. And yeah, in all the stats right now, they are way above. Shots on target 2-2, but off target is 4-2.
So he can't be too happy, Ole Werner, with Leipzig, because the standards they've set themselves are very high. Very, very high. They look the second best team in the Bundesliga.
And look at the possession right now, Alex. 61-39.
Free kick to Leipzig. That was a foul on Hassan Ouedraogo, the man with Burkina Faso roots, but he plays for the Germany under-21. He could still opt to play for Burkina Faso, alongside Edmund Tapsoba, of course, of Leverkusen. Free kick to Leipzig. It's going to be taken by Willi Orban, their captain. He's been in defence for years alongside young Lukeba, and a good pairing they are in central defence. And if anything should happen, of course, there's always El Shaddai Bichiabu to come on in central defence. Here comes Stuttgart. Führich finds El Khanouchi. El Khanouchi on the ball. El Khanouchi.
Oh!
And it's cleared by Leipzig. Stuttgart in control. No two ways about it. And Bilal, he's seeing more and more possession. Joined from Leicester City, the Belgian-Moroccan, and 24 caps for Morocco, Bilal El Khanous, and he's certainly settled down very well in the Bundesliga. Can he get another goal today? Here comes Stuttgart, over on that far side. That's their left. Chris Führich forced back. The ball played to Jeff Chabot. Chabot finds Angelo Stiller, the German international. He pays the ball out to his right to Wagnermann. Wagnermann cuts inside. Good football this by Stuttgart. I keep repeating myself. Jacquet, that is Luka Jacquet, good player. And Stuttgart with a lengthy spell of possession, which is really surprising. I thought they'd be very much under the cosh here. Mönchengladbach 1-0 up. Tabakovic, the scorer for the team at the bottom of the Bundesliga in Hamburg against St. Pauli. And
this position, I mean, this style of play, or maybe they put the form that Leipzig chose, I don't think it's working for them. They play with 4-3-3. It's
he'll have to change something.
There's something needs to change.
Something's not working.
No.
Bouba, the goal was taken back in Union Berlin. It's still 0-0.
Oh,
good news
that makes me happy. That makes me happy.
Opportunity here for Ouedraogo. He's bearing down on goal. Good effort, but oh no, it wasn't a good effort, quite frankly, because he hit it straight at the keeper, Alexander
into
Nubel.
the hands of Nubel.
Yeah, and Nubel, of course, a steady goalkeeper. He should have done more, Ouedraogo, there. He should have really gone closer or tried to take the keeper on, but there was nobody really running with him. That's the first, shall we say, semi-chance for Leipzig. And
what do you think about Bayern still owning? If I still get it right, Bayern still owns Alexander Nubel.
Yes, a very complicated contractual situation there.
It's been forever.
One always thinks of Bayern Munich when you hear Alexander Nubel.
Yeah.
I just don't understand why they didn't take him.
No,
but of course he wanted first team football, and he was at Monaco in Ligue 1. Now he's in the Bundesliga for Stuttgart. He wants first team football. And when there's a guy called Manuel Neuer in goal, you're not going to get.
You're not going to get it. Manuel Neuer is always the number one at Bayern.
Still the number one.
Yeah.
Do you think you're going to play in the World Cup?
Manuel Neuer, yeah. I think he still has it. He still has it in him, and goalkeeper.
But he has insisted and stressed that he doesn't want to be considered for the World Cup in the summer.
I think he's just being a bit modest.
Okay.
But he wants it. Come on, he wants it. I mean, there are other good goalkeepers that Germany could bring as well. But
Baumann is a good keeper.
He's a good goalkeeper.
It's just he plays for a small club, Hoffenheim.
But the thing is, the national team has they all are used to play with Manuel Neuer at the back there.
Yeah.
So this is something
that
they don't have to train you again.
It would give them so much confidence.
That's right.
And they're a young team. They're not very good in defense, Germany.
Yeah.
And to have a guy like Manuel Neuer behind you.
He's got this command. He's like the captain at the back.
He's been around for years.
Right.
For years. Here come Leipzig. Good work. Musa. Shot not hard enough to trouble a guy like Nubel. Antonio Musa looking sprightly. No goals between Mainz and Werder Bremen yet either. Werder 3 points adrift of safety. Just one win after their first 8 games. That is relegation form, I'm afraid. And they come into this game against Werder. Mainz, that is, they come into this game on a run of 4 straight Bundesliga defeats. Werder, of course, is the new club of Victor Boniface, the Nigerian centre-forward. They recorded a 3rd successive win last week, and they've kept 3 clean sheets so far this season. And when you look at Mainz's last clean sheet, that was in February. That's almost a year ago.
We have a goal in Heidenheim.
Goal in Heidenheim, Bouba. 1-0 up against Eintracht Frankfurt. Heidenheim 1, Frankfurt 0, and it's the Georgian, and I dare pronounce his name, it's Sivizavadze, Budu Sivizavadze.
Don't even try that, Alex.
Yeah. He's put Heidenheim 1-0 up. Now, defeat to Hoffenheim last week was Heidenheim's 6th in 8 league games. Opportunity. Romelu. Oh, what a chance for Romelu. How could he put that one wide?
It came so close. So close.
Goodness me. It was good work once more by Ouedraogo. Laid it across to Baku. Well, he was falling, of course, Romelu. Baku lifted it into his direction and Romelu was stumbling, got his foot to the ball, but the goal was empty there, Bouba.
The goal was empty and Alexander Nubel is furious. How could the defenders allow that to happen? Sending a gesture there that Wagnerman and others have to be careful.
So Heidenheim, as we said, 1-0 up against Frankfurt. That is a surprise because Heidenheim have lost 6 of their 8 league games this season. Frank Schmidt, the legendary coach, he's been there for 17 years. We've told you about him very often. But his side remaining 17th, 3 points adrift of safety.
Whoa,
Here
did you
come
see
Leipzig,
that?
but well cleared there by
Did
Stuttgart.
you see that, Yann Diomande?
Yeah.
He made an incredible one-man action there.
Diomande is one of the most exciting players I've seen for a long time, Bouba.
It's so exciting to watch, so exciting to see him play there. And that was obviously a one-man action, dribbling all the way back from the defense towards the opposing end. That was a brilliant play there by Yann Diomande.
So Frankfurt 1-0 down against Heidenheim, and Johnny Burkhardt, he's banging the goals, but he's struggling this afternoon. 6 goals in the Bundesliga so far. Here's Antonio Musa, cuts inside. Musa. The ball cleared. Zaiwald picks it up. This is better now from Leipzig. They've got possession in the form of Ouedraogo. Here's Ridle Baku. Back to Ouedraogo. Ouedraogo finds Willy Orban. He's going to lift it in the penalty area. No, decides to play it short. This is a little bit of possession football by Leipzig. Here's Castello-Luqueba. Castello-Luqueba finds Baumgartner. Castello-Luqueba going forward, but he might be caught out of position. Stuttgart made to sweat for a few seconds here. And, of course, Heidenheim with 2 players of African descent too. Omar Traore, the German Togolese player, and Sir Lord Conti, the German Ghanaian. And then 1-0 up against Frankfurt, which is a big surprise there. Throw into David Raum and Leipzig. Romelu is the target man. It's a long throw, trying to find Romelu. Can he head it on? Well, there was a push. There was a push by Romelu, and it's a free kick. It was a push on Karatso, the Turkish midfielder there of Stuttgart. It's a free kick to Stuttgart in their own penalty area. Well, Leipzig certainly waking up suddenly, but I just can't get that result in Heidenheim out of my head because Frankfurt are such a good side. Eli Wahi, they've got his French Ivorian Jean-Matteo Bahoya, the fastest player in the Bundesliga, Bahoya.
Right.
He's French Cameroonian. Jessic Ngankam, he's German Cameroonian. Don't forget Ansgar Knauf, he's German Ghanaian. Michi Batshuayi, he's Belgian Congolese. And Elias Skiri, he's Tunisian, of course. He's been around for a long time. Faris Shaibi, he's Algerian. And Aurel Amenda, he's Swiss Cameroonian. And Aurelio Buta, he's Portuguese Angolan. So plenty of players of African descent at Frankfurt too. Free kick to Leipzig. It's going to be David Raum. He's the man for the set pieces. Just under 10 minutes to go. Ole Werner must have been more pleased with his sides playing the last few minutes. It's going to be a free kick. Pretty far out, though. There's no way. He's in the centre circle, actually. David Raum lifts it into the penalty area, but that was an easy take for Nubel. That was rather disappointing. I thought they'd play their way towards the Leipzig goal. Opportunity for Stuttgart to try and hit them on the counter-attack. The move was brought down there. Free kick there, but no way, says...
it looks like it's a fair play. It's definitely a fair play.
Sven Jablonski, play on, he says, the referee, and they can try and build again. Leipzig, that is. Oh, that was a foul by Baumgartner on El Kanous. And it's a yellow card for Baumgartner. Because
That's right.
He hit, well, he didn't really. Oh, well.
I think it's not the foot, it's the elbow, or maybe it knuckle on the head, like it knocks the head with the...
The Stuttgart players having a word with Baumgartner. And as usual, Baumgartner saying he never hit Al-Khanous, and it's a free kick. The crowd don't like it because they think Al-Khanous made more out of it than necessary.
The reaction was a bit late.
There's Mario Gomez in the stands. Some of you might remember.
The legendary Stuttgart player.
The legendary Stuttgart player, who I think though works for Leipzig now.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
he does.
With a certain Jurgen Klopp as well. You just wonder what Jurgen Klopp does for Leipzig.
Yeah.
You never see him there.
Well, he is the manager of managers.
Yeah.
He's managing the managers.
I was just wondering whether he should not go back to Liverpool.
I don't think a guy like Klopp, he's tired.
Yeah.
Look at him. He's
done
tired.
it. 10 years at Liverpool is exhausting for anybody.
He doesn't know how to do football, work-life balance. That is not Jurgen Klopp. If he's doing football, it's just work.
Full-hearted.
Nothing else. There's nothing like life next to football, you know? That's why I think he's happy not being a coach anymore.
Yeah. But I'm just amazed at Liverpool's form. They've lost their last 6 games.
And they spent like 400 million pounds
on good players.
And I saw, I don't know, I'm not an expert in this, but I did see the mistake coming. It's like they had a good team. And then suddenly, Florian Wirtz, Jeremy Frimpong, Hugo Ekitike. I was like,
Alexander Isak.
What kind of mistake is this?
Well, I'm just amazed that it turned out to be a mistake because they're really good players, but they're not. I mean, Florian Wirtz should be playing for me on the left wing like he used to play for Leverkusen, where he was very good on the left wing, cutting inside. But Liverpool seem to use him more centrally.
Yeah, but I think, for me, the mistake they make was writing off Luis Diaz.
Right, Luis Diaz. How could they have sold a player like that? Yeah,
this is the man that brings chaos to a perfect defense.
Yeah,
and someone like that, you can never take him out. He's like, you can have whatever defense that you have. This is the guy that brings chaos in there.
Very true.
That's why one of the reasons why Bayern is successful.
Musa, Baku, good work here by Leipzig. Inches past the post.
Gets so close.
Inches past the post. Romelu, that should have been a goal. They came so close to scoring. The home side looking really good. Good footwork there by Musa. Good footwork by Romelu and Baku. And Romelu pulling his shot. Well, that was a millimetre past the post, Bouba. A millimetre.
Right.
Mainz 0, Bremen 0, Union 0, Freiburg 0, St. Pauli 0, Mönchengladbach 1, and Heidenheim 1, Frankfurt 0 at the moment.
But I see we have Gladbach up 2 now against St. Pauli.
Wow, that is amazing because they are bottom of the table and Tabakovic has made it 2-0 for Mönchengladbach at St. Pauli's Milan tour. So will Gladbach at last get their first victory of the season?
So a very good colleague of mine is a Gladbach supporter and his office is very close to mine. So every time Gladbach loses,
he must be happy.
Yeah, well, he's not. Right now he must be happy, but I always make fun of him though.
Yeah.
He wouldn't like it if I called his name out in public.
Who can be brave enough to support Gladbach these days?
It's a hard side to support.
I mean, we saw them last week against Bayern Munich. That used to be the Klassiker in the old days. Because Gladbach won the title 5 times in the 70s. But
that was a long time ago.
Those days are gone. Those days are gone.
If you can imagine, when we used to have clubs that you never heard of in the Bundesliga, and now they're not even like in the 3rd division.
They've disappeared, some of them, like Wattenscheid. They've disappeared, sadly.
I don't know. Elversberg was also there.
No, they were never there. No.
It's like, what?
Bayer Uerdingen. They're not even called Bayer Uerdingen anymore because Bayer don't own them anymore. I think they're called KFC Uerdingen. They were a very good side in the Bundesliga. They've just disappeared.
Right.
Yeah.
Kaiserslautern.
Well, they're still very much alive.
They are alive, but you know,
in
they
the
haven't
second
been
division.
they haven't been in the first division for I don't know,
Well,
long time.
Don't forget Hamburg, 7 years in Division 2.
Yeah.
Now they're back. They play Cologne on Sunday.
It's the first year that I started football commentary when Hamburg with you there under your leadership here, and that's the same year HSV disappeared from the Bundesliga.
Right.
And it took them 7 years.
7 years to come back, but they're certainly back now. Here comes Stuttgart. Plays the ball forward. This is Angelo Stiller. Tries to find Furies. Stuttgart still pressurizing the Leipzig defense, and they manage to clear the ball. Here's his Diomande eating up the kilometers. Diomande plays it to his right. Here is Ouedraogo. Tries to find Musa. Musa's control lets him down, and they're forced to play the ball backwards. Well, Leipzig slowing down Bouba as soon as they come to the box.
That's right. Their push is not so hard. They are playing slightly deep, and I think maybe they have changed their 4-3-3 position right now, their form.
Well, he certainly, Olivan will have to do something. This isn't the Leipzig we know.
Diomande on the right side.
Very well. Here he comes. Diomande plays the ball.
It's
a goal. It's an own goal by Jeff Chabot, and Leipzig take the lead in the Red Bull Arena. And the big defender got in the way of Diomande, who can take all the credit for that goal.
Absolutely. Yann Diomande can take that credit, dribbling all the way to the 18-yard box. And I don't know, aimlessly shot that ball without any plan. And Jeff Chabot said, let me make it to the end for you. It's an own goal there. RB Leipzig won.
Listen to the public announcement there. He's the loudest and most raucous guy in the Bundesliga. Listen to him. Well, he certainly
rowdy.
He certainly gets the crowd going. And I know he wears a red jacket too, so he stands out, a red blazer.
Yeah.
And he's the loudest public announcer in the Bundesliga. But Leipzig are 1-0 up, the Red Bulls, as Chabot forces the ball past his goalkeeper, who comforts Jeff Chabot there and tells him it can happen. All of Anna's side are 1-0 up here.
Yann Diomande
did all the running, put the ball into the penalty area, and somehow it came off Jeff Chabot. 1-0 Leipzig, and that Bouba shoots them to second spot in the Bundesliga table, behind Bayern Munich, and not so far away from mighty Bayern. Leipzig, as it stands, 2 points behind Bayern in the Bundesliga table. But Bayern, of course, play tonight against Leverkusen. What's your tip there?
I already tipped on kick tip, and I called it for Bayern, of course. And my prediction is a 3-0 or 3-1.
Yeah, I'd have said the same thing. Yeah.
So I'm just looking at...
I mean, Leverkusen are just not the side they used to be.
Right.
It's a completely new team. Stuttgart.
The Leverkusen that we knew last season is not the Leverkusen. I don't know what decision they made. They didn't just lose a very, very good coach, Xabi Alonso. They lost a lot of players.
8 players they lost.
They sold all of their good players. Even players like Victor Boniface, who we used to enjoy so much.
Opportunity here. Ouedraogo picks the ball up. And good save by Nubel. Got down quickly to push that ball out for a corner. Leipzig waking up here and piling on the pressure. They are in second place as it stands. They've leapfrogged Borussia Dortmund, who won last night by 1-0. Serhu Guirassi's goal there. And a good save by Nubel from Ouedraogo's shot. And it's a corner in the dying moments of this first half. And the Leipzig players suddenly looking happy with what's going on. It's going to be David Raum. Can they make it 2 just before half-time? Lukeba coming up for this one. Diomande's in the box too, and David Raum's getting ready to take the corner for RB Leipzig, the Red Bulls. It's an in-swinging corner, and Romelu was brought down, but the referee's not interested. Nusa on the ball. Nusa, can he get a shot on target? Oh, that was millimeters.
That was a good one.
That was a big chance to make it 2-0. Antonio Nusa, he curled it beautifully, went past a few Stuttgart players. It even took a deflection there.
It touched as well, I think, Jalloh.
Yeah, it should have been a corner, but I think time is up. It's half-time in the Red Bull Arena, and the home side 1-0 up, slightly lucky, shall we say?
Slightly lucky.
Or do they deserve it?
They don't deserve it. If you look at the statistics, it'll tell you they don't deserve it. And as a commentator, a neutral commentator, I also say they don't deserve it. This is so far it's been a really good game there for Stuttgart, but Leipzig are, of course, because of that very, very fantastic ball there by Yann Diomande, which put them ahead with an own goal there by Jeff Jalloh.
And there's been a goal in the game between Mainz and Werder Bremen, and Mainz have taken the lead 1-0 there. Sylvain Wittmer, the Swiss international, playing there and putting them 1-0 up. Mainz 1, Werder Bremen 0. Boniface has started for Werder Bremen. So has Mbangula, he's the Swiss international, and Karim Koulibaly, he is in defence. But Werder Bremen are 1-0 down. Half-time, Bouba.
Half-time, don't go anywhere. We have a very beautiful report for you. Welcome back to the Bundesliga Matchday 9 halftime show. This is where all goals meet gossip and the pitch meets punchlines. I am your host, Bouba Jalloh, and today we've got trees, tears, and transfer drama. Let's kick off. Now, in the Gambia, football goals are sprouting trees, literally. Every time a young baller scores in the B4L Youth League, a tree gets planted. So yes, these kids are scoring screamers and saving the planet. Messi might bend it like Beckham, but these players bend it like photosynthesis. Aminata Sayang has the scoop and probably a shovel.
The Gambia is football crazy. It's the heartbeat of the country's youth culture. And these young players are not just chasing goals, they're scoring for the planet. The Ballers for Life Youth League launched a nationwide campaign called Goals for Trees. For each goal scored in the league this season, a tree is being planted.
Recently, we've realized that the system have changed a little bit, where we experience high temperature and erratic rainfalls here and there. And research shows that a lot of it is attributed to climate change.
The goal of the project is not just to plant fruit trees in various households, but also to entrust them to the care of the people living there. The players want to ensure the trees grow, to feed and benefit the families. Footballers like Bouba believe sports should go hand in hand with protecting the environment. After all, athletes especially need clean air and temperate conditions.
Nowadays, by 3 to 4, even to 5, the sun is always very hot. And that is, I guess, due to the cutting down of trees. Climate change is a problem for everyone in the country or in the world. So as sport people, I encourage all my sportsmates to participate in planting trees for a better future.
The project only started in 2024, but it's already exceeding expectations. In a country where football is so big in youth culture, it shows that passion for sports can help protect the planet.
Trees are life. Where there are trees, there's life. And where there's no tree, there's no life. So planting these trees would go a long way to helping the families. This is about our life, sustainability. Because whatever is planted here, I believe it will live a long way with the communities.
And now to Morocco, where Afghanistan's women's footballers played their first international match in 4 years. You heard that right. 4 years. That's how long it's taken these women from Afghanistan to play international football. Now, of course, it was an emotional, historic, and long overdue match. While the men play with the Taliban's blessings, these women are still fighting for the right to lace up their boots. Sunday was a win, but the real match, it's still being played off the pitch. Now, here is how delighted one of the players was.
It is fantastic. We are making a history. And I'm so grateful for FIFA for investing and trusting us and believing in women's empowerment and really allowing us and giving us the platform to return back on the pitch. When I saw in the first game the team returned, it was like the memories of how we created the national team of Afghanistan, where the national anthem played and the players having the right to play is fantastic. For us, football has been always more than the game. It has been a platform to stand for something bigger, for a bigger cause. They're standing with a great purpose, with a great mission, and that is to be the voice of Afghanistan, the voice of women of Afghanistan. We founded the first Afghanistan women's national team with the purpose, with the hope that this is going to be a strong platform to be the voice for our sisters who lost or have never owned their voices in Afghanistan. And this is what exactly we are doing. We have never given up on the women of Afghanistan. We have never given up the hope. And we are their voices. We are sending out the message. And again, it's football. The football family is coming together, celebrating football, celebrating the talent and resilience of these women. And I'm so proud of each one of these players standing there with all the challenges that they have gone through. They have not given up, and they are celebrating unity. And that's the most beautiful thing.
It's a historical moment, for the Afghan women's national team, for football in general. I think this is what football is about, creating opportunities, giving access, and seeing the girls, giving their best on the field, feeling free, made me really happy. It's about community, it's about, access, it's about growth. This is the beginning. I hope it keeps going. And I can't wait to follow what the next step are for these teams.
And yes, back to the Bundesliga. Hurricane, the human hat-trick. Cologne thought they had Bayern Munich rattled. Ragnar Ache scored, fans roared, and then Hurricane happened. 2 goals, 1 cup progression, and Bayern's 14th straight win. Let's hit the stats buffet. 107 goals in 110 games for Hurricane. 74 in 71 Bundesliga starts. 18 perfect penalties. 22 goals this season. 10 hat-tricks. Yes, 10 hat-tricks. And yes, Kane has scored against every Bundesliga team he has faced. Basically, if Kane were a Bundesliga club, he'd be top 6. Someone check if he's powered by Bratwurst. And the 2-meter Messi Musiala. Stuttgart fans called him the 2-meter Messi Musiala. And no, that's not a typo. Nick Woltemade is tall, talented, and now headed to Newcastle United. Bayern tried to sign him, but Stuttgart said 999 and walk away with 85 million euros. That's a lot of money for someone who only started scoring regularly last season. But hey, if he gets game time, he might just be Germany's next World Cup champion. Julian Nagelsmann is watching and probably texting him emojis. This summer, Bundesliga stars packed their bags like it was Black Friday at Heathrow. We saw Florian Wirtz and Jeremy Frimpong went from Bayer Leverkusen to Liverpool. Amin Adli also left Leverkusen for the Premier League at Bournemouth. Another Bayer Leverkusen midfield maestro, Granit Xhaka, went to Sunderland. Benjamin Šeško left RB Leipzig for Manchester United. Leipzig also lost Xavi Simons to the London side, Tottenham Hotspurs. Even Bayern Munich lost a few, but they also gained Luis Diaz. Meanwhile, Dortmund scooped up Joe Bellingham and Chukwuemeka. It's a football freeway between Germany and England, and business is booming. Someone calls custom, We've got talent crossing borders faster than VAR decisions. But a lot of questions, many are asking, why is the Premier League so famous, or why does it have so much money than the Bundesliga? But here is my answer to that question. At the moment in Europe, it's quite a topic that everyone is talking about. It's so important that even German top bosses at the DFL, that is the organizer of the German Bundesliga, they are all talking about how to counter this dominance, how to counter this major money that the English Premier League, for instance, has. But you have to understand that the money at the English Premier League is not really coming from within England itself, or to say that fans who are buying tickets or buying merchandise and all those stuff, clubs are making money, not through that. I mean, they have big sponsors, big money coming from outside, and that is mostly from the Emirates or Saudi Arabia. So you see clubs like Arsenal, Chelsea, Man United, and even Newcastle, they all have big money. The Bundesliga is not making that much money, and one of the challenges for that, it's a thing called 50+1 rule. So what this rule is about is that the ordinary fans of the club, they have to have 50+1%. So the club can sell those shares to the remaining 49.9% to others. But that means that the individuals who are coming to buy those shares, they don't have a dominant say in the club. The club does not belong to an individual in Germany. This is really based on principle in Germany. And it's something that there was a big vote a couple of years back whether to scrap the 50+1 rule, and overwhelmingly that was defeated. Bayern and other clubs actually were in favor of scrapping the 50+1 rule, but this did not happen. That is why you don't see big money coming in from Saudi Arabia and the Emirates, because this money, they want to have ownership of the club. And the fans in Germany, they do not want that. The fans in Germany do not want that. They want to have club based on tradition, club based on football and pure football, and not just about money. So yes, everyone is talking about the English Premier League because they have a lot of money. They can spend big to get big names and big players. But in reality, the club ownership is a major issue, and fans are finding it very difficult. I mean, this was also at the beginning quite a difficult topic, a big debate in the UK. English fans were against it at the beginning, but then they saw La Liga clubs in Spain are being bought by this Arab money, if I can put it like that, although that sounds a bit racist. I wouldn't say that. Sorry, I take that back. Like these investors coming from Saudi Arabia and the Emirates, they've been buying off big shares in the Spanish La Liga, and so the English Premier League also started, clubs in the English Premier League also started cashing in on that, and the discussion has always been as well about the Bundesliga for that to happen, but that particular move has been defeated. So it's the reason why you don't see big names in the Bundesliga, but that is not to say that the Bundesliga is not doing well. The Bundesliga is really doing well, and it has massive global fan bases, and these fan bases, they support the Bundesliga because some of these teams do not rely on big names to play good football. They do play good football despite those big names, but of course it's an added bonus to have those big names play in your tournament or in your competition. That's all for today's football analysis. Whether you are planting trees, scoring goals, or just trying to pronounce Volte Made correctly, we've got you covered. It's Volte Made. Right, you English fans, you heard that? Volte Made. Catch you next time, same pitch, and same banter. I'm Bouba Jalloh. Peace.
On m'a volé mon porte-monnaie. C'était dans mon boubou. Quelqu'un est parti avec. Je vous assure là, moi aussi, j'avais quelques sous là. On m'a même volé mon Weston. Ah, Banamai, il faut faire attention. Ah, isola bazokaba baplaya bantu mama na bana natikaki kaka mbongo awo mutu mususu azali te kaka nganda yo na bana mbongo ikeyi wapi bakule 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 na Kinshasa ngona na Brazza Centrafrique bakule na Gabon bakule na Abidjan Madagascar bakule na Mali olipanga na Fernando no pene bakule Congo
Kulena Abidjan, oh yeah. Kulena Bonn, oh yeah. Welcome back to match day 9 on the Bundesliga. We have all the actions across the Bundesliga. My name is Bouba Jalloh alongside
Alex Sisto, welcome. Let's see what the two sides can produce. It's a slender 1-0 lead for Leipzig, the home side. It was an own goal by Jeff Chabot just before half-time. And Leipzig waking up, but not at their very best. And Stuttgart certainly giving as good as they got. And let's see how things work out in this second half. 1-0 to Leipzig at the Red Bull Arena. And as far as we can tell, there are no changes in either lineup. We just have to wait and see. Leipzig have got quite a few big names on the bench. Klostermann, he's a veteran defender, you remember him. Then they've got Young Banzuzi. Then they've got Maksimovic on the bench, Shava Schlager, Bakayoko, Gomi, the new signing, and Konrad Harder, the Dane. So quite a lot of firepower on the bench. And Stuttgart, they too got quite a few names on the bench. Players who were involved in midweek, like Schema, the young Spaniard who signed from Real Madrid. Then Al-Dakil, the Belgian Iraqi player born in Baghdad. Al-Dakil came to Stuttgart from Burnley, where he played under Kompany. Vincent Kompany was the coach at Burnley, and that's how he got the Al-Dakil. Free kick to Leipzig. Gulashi taking his time to take it. Leipzig with less possession than under Marco Rose, their former coach. It used to be over 54%. Now it's about 48% of possession. Leipzig under new coach Olivander. He likes fast and direct combination play. And there's also been a physical improvement to Leipzig. The team now covers around 116 kilometers per match. And under Rose, it was around 113 kilometers in the previous season. So more physicality, shall we say, from Leipzig this season. Unbeaten in 8 games and 1-0 up here. This is Lukeba. Plays the ball across to David Raum. Well, I must say they've got certainly got a good defence in Baku, Orban, Lukeba and Raum. Not too convinced about young Seiwald, the Austrian, if he gives his back four enough protection. And then, of course, Ouedraogo and Baumgartner, the more attacking players who like to support Diomande, Romelu and Nusa. And they're 1-0 up. I wouldn't say they're cruising, but they're certainly playing better than they did when it was still 0-0.
Right. We also see Stuttgart back in the usual possession play against a very formidable side, Leipzig, who've managed to get the opportunity to take the lead via an own goal by Jeff Chabot.
Mainz 1-0 up against Werder Bremen. No goals for Union and Freiburg. Mönchengladbach, the bottom club, 2-0 up at St. Pauli. Tabakovic scoring both goals there. And Heidenheim, would you believe that, for me is a big surprise. 1-0 up against Eintracht Frankfurt. Later on, we've got Bayern Munich against Leverkusen. That's a big late game. On Sunday, we've got Cologne against Hamburg, the two promoted sides there. And the Wolves of Wolfsburg against Hoffenheim. That's the late Sunday kickoff. Stuttgart trying to force their way back into the game, but the ball picked up by Romelu, the Brazilian centre-forward. Here they come. This is Ouedraogo on the ball. He's got space. Feeds Nusa. Nusa tries to pull it across there to Romelu. Well, you could see the intention was there, but it didn't really come off.
I saw Nusa struggled a bit there with that ball, even though Ouedraogo played a very nice pass. But Nusa was a bit behind it. That's why he tried to chip it towards the center, but of course, came off the defender.
Let's put it this way, Bouba. This isn't vintage Leipzig. It's
No.
not very good Leipzig.
It's not the very...
I mean, I've seen them
Leipzig.
in the past weeks. They've been incredibly strong. But
I've seen
today,
better. I've seen better.
Yeah. But of course, we mustn't forget that Stuttgart are not nobodies. They're a good side. Umdorf was brought down there. Made the headlines, Umdorf, this week after the cup game against Mainz, where he criticised Dominic Kor, the Mainz player with the most yellow cards in the Bundesliga, Dominic Kor.
Yeah.
And Umdorf said, yeah, Kor, we know all about him. He often tries to injure the opposition, and that didn't go down very well. He was very open, very honest there, Dennis Umdorf. I mean, Dominic Kor is a very rough player, we know that.
Yeah.
And it's very rare, though, to hear a player come out and say that publicly, as Umdorf did just after the game against Mainz.
Well, you have to understand, if you know Umdorf, you know he's someone who is not shy of saying what he thinks is his opinion. Recently, there were comments about a vehicle that he bought, like, you know, a very expensive car for 400,000 euros. And German fans were like, nah, he's like living off his means and yada, yada, yada. And then he came and said, well, if he earns the money, it's his own business.
Yeah.
It's no one else's business.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, Umdorf, a man not afraid to speak his mind. Leipzig in control. Here's Willi Orban marshalling his defense and plays the ball back to Gulaschi. So many games for Leipzig. Gulaschi, one of the veterans of this side. Peter Gulaschi, the Hungarian international, very good player, and 58 caps for Hungary, and
two Hungarian there on the back.
yeah, Orban and Gulaschi there.
That's right, Willi Orban and Gulaschi.
And Gulaschi playing 255 times in the Bundesliga. Joined from Salzburg, RB Salzburg. That is, of course, Leipzig's sister club in Austria. Before that, he had a very short spell at Liverpool, Gulaschi, and before that at Hull City even. Yeah. Arsenal, in case you're interested, Arsenal 1-0 up in Burnley. That is Vincent Kompany's former club, Burnley. He used to coach them. And fifth choice Vincent Kompany was. And look at that. What a success he's made of his position.
Right. The man who no one ever thought was actually a proper coach. He was still in the shadows of Pep Guardiola. But he proved everyone wrong. And then we have
Diomande scored for Leipzig. He took his time, and he placed it past the keeper. 2-0 to the home side.
And this is the second goal of Diomande for RB Leipzig this season.
And he was involved in the first one when Jeff Chabot was forced to concede an own goal there.
That's right.
And now he's done it. Diomande, really one of the big names at Leipzig. He's coming through, Yann Diomande, the Ivorian international there. What a season he's having. It was a long ball played down to him on the wing. He cut inside. He held on to the ball, and then he let fly, placing it beautifully past Nübel, who just didn't move, Bouba. Just look at that.
Just didn't move.
He was flat-footed, Nübel.
That's right. Defeated by an 18-year-old Ivorian, Yann Diomande.
And I must say, the Stuttgart defence didn't look good at all there, did they?
No, definitely not. This was a defensive blunder, and Yann Diomande, he actually couldn't believe that he got that ball in.
2-0 to Leipzig, and their second spot seems well cemented there. Only 2 points behind Bayern Munich at the moment. But let me keep reminding you, Bayern Munich, they play tonight against Leverkusen. Now, Bouba, that 1 or 2 seasons ago would have been a massive clash. But as Leverkusen are no longer the Leverkusen that won the title or won the double, I don't think it's such a big clash anymore.
No. I think they're back to being the Leverkusen that we used to know. When they had players like Diaby, Karim Diaby, they were good but not good enough. And then Xabi Alonso came by at a time when they were really struggling at the bottom stage of relegation. He succeeded in keeping them in the Bundesliga, and then
they exploded.
And then they exploded from there.
They won the double, don't forget.
And they went unbeaten for nearly a whole season.
Yeah, in the Bundesliga, they certainly were unbeaten. The only game they lost that season was in the Europa League final against Atalanta Bergamo. They lost 3-0.
And everyone can remember when a Nigerian, Lukman had
Ademola Lukman.
He defeated the dream of our entire city, of whole club. This Lukman guy from nowhere just got like a hat-trick. Also,
started off at
crazy
Charlton Athletic, smaller London club. Charlton Athletic, that was his club. Ademola Lukman has spent some time at Everton, if I remember right. And did so well in that final. That'll always be remembered for Lukman's hat-trick. That's the only game that Leverkusen lost that season.
That was, you should have seen the support. They could not believe. Germany could not believe this. You know, a team like Bayer Leverkusen that went unbeaten a whole season in the Bundesliga got mercilessly defeated by Inter Milan, Atalanta Bergamo. And Lukman had a hat-trick. That was just...
I mean, he'd go down in history for that.
Yeah.
Ademola Lukman. So, who's going to defeat the Bayern Munich Dragon? Can Leverkusen do it later on? Can they slay the Dragon of Bayern Munich? We'll have to wait and see. Bayern against Leverkusen. The late kickoff tonight. Here, the team in second spot, Leipzig, they're doing very well because they're 2-0 up. I think Diomande, Bouba, if he carries on like this, he'll be the man of the match.
Absolutely, and not just the man of the match, he would be a player to watch for in this Bundesliga season. Definitely.
The ball headed away. Stuttgart in control here. This is Joshua Wagnermann, forced to go till the corner flag. And Leipzig have certainly woken up. This is Antonio Musa with a strong run. It was pulled to the ground there by Undav, and it's a yellow card for Dennis Undav there. Frustration creeping in for Stuttgart. I think they've realized this game is beyond them. What do you think, Dua?
I think so. They've played really well, though. They've played really well, but not against a team like RB Leipzig. It's just a good team. RB Leipzig are making some changes now. We see Kudus coming out and Chris Führich also coming out.
Yeah, Stuttgart taking off Chris Führich, who had a very quiet game. And on comes Natai. Nicholas Natai. Be interesting. He was in the cup game on Tuesday.
Tomas. A very experienced player.
Yeah.
Thiago Tomas.
Nicholas Nati is on for Stuttgart. He's a Danish Ghanaian. And he's been at the club for quite some time. And Thiago Tomas, as we say, made a name for himself at Wolfsburg. He's Portuguese, and he's on now for the rest of the game. Obviously, the coach, seeing that this side needed fresh legs, because it's been a poor second half till now. We're only 12 minutes into the second half, and Leipzig looking much livelier, much more, shall we say, convinced about their own possibilities. So let's see what they can do. Leipzig, that is. Throw in, taken by David Holm over that far side. Takes his time. Surely that was a foul in front of the referee's eyes. Play on, says the referee, and it's going to be a throw in to Leipzig. Taken quickly by... No, he decides to leave it. Ouedraogo, who's had a good game too. The man with Burkina Faso roots, Hassan Ouedraogo, but he plays for the Germany under-21 side. Could still play for Burkina Faso if he wishes, because he's not yet played for the senior side. Seiwald, the Austrian, dropping back there, and Orban back heels it to Baku. Baku finds Orban, and Leipzig showing a lot of confidence here. Just look at that, Bouba. They're playing their way out of danger.
That's right.
Is that too dangerous?
It's a bit dangerous, but of course, they've got the quality. And players like Ridley Baku, and also in front of him, don't forget you have a really, really good, formidable player there who's had a really good game today, Yann Diomande. So obviously on that right side of RB Leipzig, I am pretty sure the talent is there to keep that ball. That's why they can play like that. Look.
St. Pauli struggling against Mönchengladbach, the bottom side. That's two struggling clubs, actually. St. Pauli, they failed to score in their last 3 Bundesliga games. Gladbach have only 3 points from 8 games, would you believe? But they're 2-0 up thanks to 2 goals from Tabakovic, but they're still bottom of the table, Gladbach. 15-game winless streak, that is a club record. And Eugen Polanski is the first Gladbach coach since 1965 not to win any of his first 5 matches. And the Mönchengladbach's current campaign is their worst ever start to a season. But the 2-0 up in St. Pauli, which could be a difficult place, you know.
Would you say that they held on to Soane for too long?
Possibly. Soane has found a new job with Young Boys Bern. He signed yesterday. I mean, it's a decent thing to do, of course, to hang on to the coach and to give him a chance. I wonder how long they'll hang on to Eugen Polanski, but maybe the winds of change have started Mönchengladbach. They're 2-0 up. Quite a few African players involved there too. Oladapo Afolaya, he plays for St. Pauli. He's English-Nigerian. Then we've got a German-Nigerian for St. Pauli. His name is Romeo Aikbekan. Then from the Gambia, we've got Abdoulaye Cissé. From Benin, Andreas Untonji. And a very interesting player is Joel Shima Fujita, born in Tokyo to a Nigerian father and a Japanese mother. Interesting player, that. And for Mönchengladbach, Nathan Ngumo, he's injured though, he's Cameroonian. And Wael Mohia, he's German-Moroccan, and he's Mönchengladbach's youngest ever player, Wael Mohia, German-Moroccan there. 16 years old and played already in the Bundesliga. Gladbach 2-0 up, maybe their season is about to turn. Stuttgart trying to find a way back into the game. Here is El Canous, but it's picked up by Diomande. Diomande on the ball, plays the ball back to Baku. Good work by Leipzig. Diomande tussling for possession down there. Diomande, good work by Diomande, and he's got to release it now. Release it. He does.
It does release it to the end, but
because you know this is what often happens, Bouba. Young players, they get the ball, they go past one player, they go past the second player, then you have to release it. But they want to often go past the third and the fourth player.
That's right.
And that's too much.
Maybe they're thinking of that that clip on YouTube.
Maybe.
Sometimes it does happen. That was just a joke there. But this was a brilliant ball by Yann Diomande. But he did release the ball.
He did. Fortunately for him, he did release the ball.
Right. But I think
enough.
some of the third pass was not necessary. He should have just released the ball at that stage.
A little bit earlier. Stuttgart not using the width of the pitch. Nartai there trying to go down the right wing instead of switching the ball to the left where nobody was. Here come Leipzig once more. This is Baku. Good cross by Baku, but nobody there. This is David Raum. Plays the ball into the penalty area. Cleared by Stuttgart. And the crowd, well, we've known noisier crowds here at Leipzig, but they're quite happy. I think they're quite happy.
Yeah, they should be happy with this result. They should be happy.
So Niklas Nartai, the Danish Ghanaian, involved in midfield now for Leipzig. He's been here for a long time in the Bundesliga. 26 games for Leipzig in the Bundesliga, but yet to score, Niklas Nartai. And Dennis Undav on the yellow card. He's got to tread carefully. And Thiago Tomas on for Chris Führig there.
Oh, what
opportunity
a
here
mistake!
for Stuttgart.
Oh, Stuttgart
have
got
pulled the goal back. Stuttgart have pulled the goal back through Thiago Tomas, the Portuguese international. It is indeed a good goal by Thiago Tomas. He went round the keeper. What was the mistake there, Bouba?
That was a mistake there by, I think, one of the defenders of RB Leipzig. He had chance to actually head the ball out, but he bowed. He bowed down, and Thiago Tomas had a chance. You saw that?
I think it was, I'm not really sure if it was Lukeba or Baku.
It looks like this is not Baku. It's a Lukeba. This was Lukeba.
And Willy Orban was caught napping too. And Thiago Tomas burst through.
This is Lukeba. He bowed.
Yeah, he had the chance to head the ball away.
Yeah.
But inexplicably, he bowed and let the ball through to, of course, Thiago Tomas, who's a good player. And he's made it now a very interesting final minutes here.
That's right.
Far
As
away.
a defender, this is something you are taught not to do. You should never let a ball cross over. Even if you don't have a chance, you have to try to. Now this has given a bit more life to Stuttgart right now, and they are going to press really hard to get a second goal, to get an equalizer here.
Leipzig, their lead cut by 1 goal. It's 2-1 to Leipzig. Stuttgart waking up now.
Stuttgart, what an opportunity. This was a crossover towards... It was a crossover towards Dennis Undav, but it was a bit far again. We see Yann Diomande struggling there with Jeff Chabot. Jeff Chabot won possession, but actually lost the ball over. So a throw in there for RB Leipzig. Being taken now by Ridley Baku.
Well, maybe time for some substitutions, Bouba, for Leipzig, though.
Leipzig should consider changing their style of play here, or even bring in...
bringing in a few fresh legs, maybe.
That's right.
Diomande bursting through again. Yann Diomande, he's having a great game. Here's Ridley Baku, just below us. Turns, checks. Still on the ball, Ridley Baku. Finds Baumgartner on the ball here, Leipzig. This is Natai, plays the ball across. And the ball taking a ricochet. And Leipzig waking up, they realise their lead has been cut down to just 1 goal. 2-1 they lead. But of course, they are at home and they are Leipzig. And they're a confident side. But the crowd a little bit quieter now. Corner to Leipzig, the home side. Oh, on that far side, that's the Leipzig left. Jeff Chabot organising his defence, doesn't want to score another own goal. In he comes, headed away strongly there by Stuttgart. And the ball played all the way back to Golashi, who launches the ball forward rather confidently, rather optimistically over on that far side, trying to pick out Baumgartner. But it goes out of play for a throw-in to Stuttgart.
Alex, goal in Heidenheim.
Goal in Heidenheim. Keep us up to date, Bouba.
We have an equalizer there. Eintracht Frankfurt have equalized, and the game stands now at the moment 1-1. And I think you'd be happy because Eintracht Frankfurt is one of the really good sides there in the Bundesliga.
Rasmus Christensen, the Dane, getting the equalizer there.
That's right.
And Frankfurt, of course, remember they lost to Liverpool 5-1 a few days ago in the Champions League. And everybody thought that is going to really shake them. But in the Bundesliga, they've been back to form and here showing a lot of fighting spirit to come back in Heidenheim, which can be a very noisy little stadium, Heidenheim. Just 15,000 supporters in the Voigt Arena. But Frankfurt doing well after that heavy defeat and fighting their way in the Bundesliga. They're in 6th place at the moment, Eintracht Frankfurt. This is Stuttgart, though, on that far side. The ball played in the penalty area, nobody there, and it goes out.
It's a corner kick.
Corner kick, Wagnermann.
The ball was deflected there by a Leipzig defender.
Joshua Wagnermann doing very well there. So Still no goals in Union Berlin's match, Bouba. What's going on there? 0-0.
0-0 so far. Doesn't look good. Union Berlin needs to score a goal.
Corner to Stuttgart. On the left-hand side, Stuttgart in the dark shirts. In it comes, headed away by Leipzig. Romelu helping out of the back there, the Brazilian. And it's picked up once more by Stuttgart. El Canous on the ball there. He's seen a lot of the ball, El Canous, but Nartai wasn't on the same page there. Nicholas Nartai, the Danish Ghanaian. And it's another corner. Another corner for Stuttgart. In front of their supporters who've travelled the long way up from Stuttgart to the east of Germany, eastern Germany. And Canous, who's made a name for himself, the Moroccan, since signing from Leicester City. Canous taking his time till he's going to execute that corner, raises his arm. Canous, good corner. And I think Ridler Bakker was fouled there. And it's a goal kick to Leipzig. It's a slender 2-1 lead to Leipzig. Stuttgart looking much stronger. And Bakayoko and Antonio Musa coming off. Antonio Musa coming on.
And Antonio Musa are also going out for Bakayoko.
Bakayoko coming on. I was surprised not to see him in the lineup, in the starting lineup, Bakayoko. So Ouedraogo and Musa are both off. And Shavas Schlager, the Swiss player coming, he's an Austrian, of course, coming on for Ouedraogo. No, Bakayoko on for Ouedraogo, Musa off, and Schlager coming on for Leipzig. So that's a bit more solidity in midfield. Schlager is going to help Seiwald at the back. Stuttgart with a chance. They're in the penalty area. This is Canous. Tries his luck from far out. That was a brave effort, but it. Did it take a deflection there?
It did not take a deflection, but a brilliant play there by Dennis Undav, I would say.
So Sava Schlager, the Austrian, he'll certainly tighten things up for Leipzig in central defence. In the holding midfield positions there. And Bakayoko, fresh legs, he's sure to torture the Stuttgart defence. But Stuttgart, I'd say, on the ascendancy. What do you think, Bouba?
I would say so. They've tasted a bit of blood there, if you like, and
they're playing more like a home team now.
That's right.
And certainly, I wouldn't put it past them to get a draw at least here, the way they've been playing at the moment. Opportunity and good defending there.
It looks like it was offside. It was a clear offside. I guess that's why Undav didn't really bother to push that much.
Yeah, I was wondering why he didn't really exert more physicality there. I think he realised he was offside.
Yeah.
But it was still good defending by Lukeba, who came in with a sliding tackle. 2-1 Leipzig lead, but there are 20 minutes remaining, and it's a game that's still good either way. Here's Bakayoko. Bakayoko on the ball, the Belgian-Congolese player. Here's Baumgartner, the Austrian, plays the ball forward and picked up there once more by Stuttgart, and they try and build from the back. They've settled down well after going 2 goals down. Lucas Jacquet there, the Frenchman on the ball. Here's Jeff Chabot, who scored the first goal as an own goal. Good football this. Much better football by Stuttgart. But it's picked up by Xaver Schlager, but Thiago Tomas is too strong for him. But the ball picked up here by Diomande and a long ball forward, but out comes Nübel to clear it. And end-to-end stuff now, Bouba.
End-to-end stuff, and we see Undav being marked heavily there at the defense between 3 defenders from RB Leipzig. So it's quite an interesting one. Lukeba, Orban, and Ivi David Raum.
If anybody gets a goal for Stuttgart, it's got to be Undav.
It's got to be Undav, for sure.
The ball picked up once more by Stuttgart. They seem to have found a new lease of life. but Leipzig forced to defend. Here's Bakayoko in the centre circle, turns, checks, release the ball now. Yes, he does. Oh, but that was a poor ball. Played it back to Thiago Tomas, and Tomas almost profiting a second time, Bouba, from a lapse of concentration there from Leipzig. Willi Orban taking the knock and going down. The referee coming across to have a look. Sven Jablonski there. Orban on his back and helped to his feet. It's not often that you see the big Hungarian defender going to the floor. Is he maybe playing for time, Bouba?
Could be, but he was definitely knocked down. So, yeah, it could be both. You know, sometimes when you get fouled and you know you are winning, so you just take your time. We're just watching the repeat of that particular mistake there by Bakayoko.
Leipzig tried to clear the ball, but they're really in a mess. They're all over the place, Leipzig. The ball coming off the back of a Leipzig defender there and falling kindly for Stuttgart. Here they come, swarming forward once more. The Leipzig supporters booing them. Don't really know why. They're whistling wildly, and I can't really understand why, because they've not done anything wrong here, Stuttgart. Hendricks was on the ball. Here they come. The ball played forward once more. Here comes Stuttgart. Good ball into the penalty area.
Oh,
and
that would
cleared.
have been nice for Sandro Wagner there.
Cleared upfield by Leipzig. Bouba, they're hanging on.
They are hanging on. They are hanging on. They've still got time to play.
Yeah.
76 minutes now into the game.
Jeff Chabot leaves the ball for Angelo Stiller. He's the man who can spray the passes across the pitch. Stiller lays it to his left. The ball back to Stiller. They've been looking to the German international to find some passing and find the strikers. This is Undaf.
Undaf, take a long shot.
Good effort from far out there. Tried his luck, but it was way past the goal.
More changes there.
Undaf surprisingly coming off.
That is a big surprise to me.
That is a big surprise. Off comes Dennis Undaf. Had a reasonably good game, I'd say. And let's see who comes on. It is Jamie Leveling, who can also play in the centre forward's position, Bouba.
That's right. But I think I'd rather want to have him on the on one of the flanks, maybe on the right. I think I like always seeing him doing those runs.
Yeah, I prefer him as a winger too. You're right. I prefer Leveling as a winger too. Very, very true there. But
I don't know. Maybe they could have El Canous play position there at the center striker, and then have Leveling play on the right. Let's see.
Leveling, the German Ghanaian, who's had a very good season, has been playing for Germany also in the past few appearances of the German national side, and they'll have to keep an eye on Leveling. Fresh legs, he's a very fast player, and the ball picked up by Schlager, the Austrian. Opportunity here for Leipzig, maybe to add a third. Baku finds Romelu, the centre forward, who's dropped really deep. Romelu plays the ball back to Willi Orban, and he plays it all across to his left to Castello Luqueba. He finds David Raum, and the ball played slowly back to Gulashi, the Hungarian, in goal for Leipzig. Leipzig trying to build. Bakayoko, his control lets him down there. And I'll be very interested to see a Leveling with a heavy foul there on Luqueba, who seems to have fallen on his elbow there, Bouba. Did you see?
On the shoulder. I think he has
on his shoulder, you're right, yeah.
That might hurt. That might hurt.
Yeah, that was that was a foul by Leveling.
Yeah.
He clattered into Castello Luqueba.
And it looks like it's a deliberate move, because Luqueba was in the air, and Leveling turned around, saw him, and they just ran under him.
I mean, surely that's a yellow card.
It is a yellow card, I think. He should have stopped his move, or actually diverted his move, but he ran into him and knuckled, I think, on not really on the shoulder, but like on the ribs.
Well, that was a painful challenge for on Lukeba there, I have to say. Still no goals in Berlin. Union nil, Freiburg nil. Mönchengladbach have now scored a third. So this is going to be their first victory. Machino, the Japanese striker, adding to the two scored by Tabakovic. Mainz still 1-0 up against Werder Bremen. And Heidenheim drawing 1-1 with Frankfurt, which would be a very good point for Heidenheim.
What do you think happened to Jan Niklas Beste, who is now the top striker at Gladbach? He used to be so good at Heidenheim.
Yeah, I don't think he should have left. He went to Benfica Lisbon.
Yeah, and
things didn't work out for him there.
Yeah,
I mean, it must be difficult to Leipzig players brought down there, and it's a free kick. It must be difficult when you leave a small club like Heidenheim and you're suddenly cast in the limelight at the world club like Benfica Lisbon.
That's right.
I don't think he enjoyed himself there.
I don't think so.
Lisbon.
It wasn't a good decision. But anyways, he wanted to leave.
And we mustn't forget Tim Kleindienst, who scored so many goals for Heidenheim.
Yeah.
And now he's at Mönchengladbach, but he's been injured for such a long time. And I'll tell you, Germany missed Tim Kleindienst.
That's right.
He's a good centre forward.
That's right. That's right.
And Gladbach miss him all the more. Free kick to Leipzig. Going to be taken by David Raum. Baumgartner, usually good for a goal, but we've not seen him score. Today, anyway. Baumgartner takes the free kick. Opportunity. Oh, that's a brilliant save by Nübel. It was a header by Romelu. A downward header, and the goalie went down to his right and got one hand to it. Great save, Bouba.
Great goalkeeping there by Alexander Nübel. He was the savior there. Stuttgart are very, very lucky to have a goalkeeper like Alexander Nübel.
Indeed.
And now they're pushing really hard. Ben Stiller.
Is there more than just a slight defeat here for Stuttgart? I don't put it past them after the performance in this second half. Come away with at least a point. Romelu, though, the ball played across there by Diomande, finds Romelu, but there's nobody in the middle. Can he find Bakayoko? And his control lets him down there. Bakayoko was waiting for the cross. The man who came on a few minutes ago. It's a slender 2-1 lead for Leipzig here at the Red Bull Arena in Leipzig. As we watch that replay, what a save that was by Nübel as Stuttgart take the free kick quickly. Building, playing the ball around with confidence, but they give it away then. It's picked up by Leipzig. This is Baku, the right back, who loves to go forward. Plays it back to Orban. Orban finds Seiwald. Seiwald on the ball, slips it forward. Romelu with his back to the Stuttgart defender, and he goes down. It's a free kick to Leipzig, and just under 8 minutes of normal time remaining here. It doesn't look like a secure lead for Leipzig, Bouba.
It doesn't look like it, but I tell you who has a secure lead right now is Borussia Mönchengladbach, 4-0 against St. Pauli.
That is some scoreline. Fraulo, scorer there for Gladbach. That is the turning point. He's a Danish-Italian, Oscar Fraulo, and he's made it 4-0. So Mönchengladbach can celebrate their first victory this season, and that'll do them a world of good.
That will definitely do them a world of good, and that will do my colleague a super, super good weekend, super good Bundesliga weekend. After struggling this entire season, Gladbach are winning their very first game under a new coach. They fired their coach, Geraldo Seoane, who was there.
That lifts them up. That's
right.
They're 17th now. They are no longer at the bottom of the Bundesliga table. Gladbach 4-0 up, and it comes, this result, this turnaround comes just at the right time for Mönchengladbach, because they play Cologne, the big derby, next week.
That's going to be an interesting one.
They travel to Mönchengladbach, and what a game that's going to be.
It is going to be a really good one.
But there's an even better one next week, Bouba. I think you might be interested in it. It is Union Berlin against Bayern Munich. Chances are that we might be doing that one next week.
Chances, yeah. Let's see. And I think if our fans want us to comment that particular game, tell us in the comment section on YouTube, DW Africa. Pardon me. Go to YouTube, DW Africa, and tell us what game you think we should comment next season. The options we have are a bit limited there, Alex.
Yeah, I think there's no way past Union Berlin against Bayern Munich next week.
So we have Bayer Leverkusen, Heidenheim, Union Berlin, Bayern, Hoffenheim hosting Leipzig, Hamburg hosting Borussia Dortmund.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, Gladbach hosting Cologne. So what do you think we should have? Which game do you think we should have? Tell us in the comment section.
Baumgartner taken off, and the coach telling him why, calming him down because he looked a little bit upset there, and we'll just have to wait and see what the coach is planning for the remaining minutes. Let's just wait and see. I think Leipzig have almost done it.
They've almost done it. It's a slender win, as you put it, but they've done it.
But it's not over yet, of course. It's not quite over yet. Here comes Baku. Baku on the edge of the penalty area. Riedle Baku finds Romelu. Romelu back to Baku. A little bit slow there, maybe, the big Brazilian. And Ezequiel Banzuzi now on for Baumgartner. The Dutch player, Ezequiel Banzuzi. Dutch Congolese he is.
That's right.
Giving a good run in the first team. The ball played in by Baku. Picked up over that far side by Diomande. Diomande, he's got the confidence to go around players. Lays it across to Romelu. He leaves it to
Baku.
Riedle. Baku just hammers it over the crossbar there. So, well, that was a wasted chance, but I think he took a deflection, didn't it, Bouba? It took a deflection off Stiller, and it's a corner. It's a corner to Leipzig. They've only got under 4 minutes to hang on to this 2-1 lead and any additional time. And the Leipzig supporters beginning to find their voice. They've been pretty quiet in these 90 minutes here. Corner taken by David Raum. He finds Bakayoko. Back to Raum. Raum back to Bakayoko. Clever work by Bakayoko. He's got to release it earlier.
Been brought down.
He was brought down, but he should have released it earlier. What do you think, Bouba?
I think he should have released it, and it's one of the things I don't like about his play. He's a really good and talented player, but he hangs on to the ball for too long.
Far too long. There were so many options for him there.
That's right.
And he wanted to go for glory.
He didn't have any reasons to actually dribble that ball into that 18-yard. He should have actually released it, and there were players standing that had a lot more chances to actually get that goal. Some changes there for Stuttgart.
Stuttgart, Karazor coming off, and Badreddine Bouanani, the Algerian who signed from OGC Nice in Ligue 1. Bouanani on for the final minutes here in Leipzig, on for Stuttgart, of course. And they know they've still got a chance. Long ball forward, plenty of space here for Stuttgart. Can they do it? This is Canus, plays the ball in, and the ball ricocheting around there. But it was a good save by Gulashi.
It was a good save by Gulashi, but I see a Leipzig player down. Could that be Lukeba? Lukeba looks to be down.
Well, that was a big chance. The ball ricocheting off the glove of Gulashi into the face of Lukeba, and he knocked him flat, I'm afraid, but he's up again. Castello Lukeba playing with Willi Orban in central defence. It's going to be a corner in these dying moments to be taken by Angelo Stiller. Stiller taking his time. Plenty of Stuttgart players coming up for this one. It's a short corner. The ball played back by Canus to Stiller, but that was wasted. And the Leipzig supporters cheer because their side are 2-1 up, and just around 1.5 minutes of normal time remaining. Who's your money on, Bouba?
My money on at this stage is on Leipzig. I think they're going to take this one home. With just 1 minute of normal time, I think Leipzig have got this covered.
Surely, you wouldn't, you'd be surprised if Stuttgart, but I can't say it wouldn't be deserved, because Stuttgart have played a really good game of football in this second half.
They've played it. Even I also give it to them in the first half. I think they played better, and in the second half also played better. They had more chances in the second half, not compared to the first half, but none of those chances were converted. So bad luck for them, a bad match weekend for them. But maybe this is something they'll take home and learn from.
Good side Stuttgart, but up against, shall we say, a slightly better side in Leipzig today. We're into added time at the Red Bull Arena. 6 minutes of added time, Bouba. Where did that come from?
I didn't see that coming. I was expecting 2-3 minutes of added time because this game has been very fluid in the second half. But 6 minutes.
Oh, opportunity for Leipzig! Romelu wraps things up after a disastrous mistake in the Stuttgart defence. Romelu, the Brazilian, gets his goal. Nubel had the ball at his feet, took his time, and suddenly lost it to Romelu, who picked it up with relish, went past the keeper. 3-1 Leipzig. 3 points are going Leipzig's way.
That's right. What a blunder there.
Big blunder by Nubel.
Big blunder, Alexander Nubel. Look at that.
I bet Bayern Munich will be watching this one.
I'm pretty sure he was trying to think, I can be Manuel Neuer
oh,
here.
Oh dear.
Because this is the usual Neuer play.
He was trying to play his way out of defence. So dangerous.
That's right.
Now, you either are able to do it or not. And I think he looked very clumsy there, Nubel. Tried to play his way past Romelu.
Indecisive.
Absolutely indecisive. And Romelu picked his pocket, shall we say. And the big Brazilian gets his goal and scores the third one for Leipzig. Surely game over. What do you think, Bouba?
Game over. This is game over for Stuttgart. There's nothing they can do here at this stage to get them back into... They cannot score two goals within this 4 minutes of... 5 minutes of remaining time. Now 4 minutes.
Listen to that guy, Bouba. Listen to the public address system. Must be the loudest in the whole Bundesliga, the one here at Leipzig. Now, Werder Bremen have equalised in Mainz. It is 1-1. And Jens Stage, the Norwegian there, making it Mainz 1, Werder Bremen 1. And that'll hurt Mainz a lot because they certainly need the points right down there in the 17th spot there, Mainz. Just on the same amount of points as Heidenheim. Nobody expected to see Mainz struggling against relegation, but they are. 1-1 there. Werder Bremen and Victor Boniface doing reasonably well at Mainz. 1-1 there. Jens Stage in the dying minutes of the game. Boniface still on the pitch, still playing. And we wish him well, of course, from our commentary position. Victor Boniface, who made a name for himself with Leverkusen. Injuries then caught up with him. And he's now trying to rekindle his career at Werder Bremen. Good player, Boniface.
A really good player.
Yeah, we wish him well.
We surely do. Boniface, Nigerian international, so lovely to watch him play.
The ball given away by Leipzig. But they've woken up after that third goal and they look confident. This is a good run by Schlager on the ball, lays it back to Raum. Raum, the new Leipzig captain, actually, he finds Yann Diomande. Yann Diomande slips it past several defenders there. Still pressure on. It's going to fall to Schlager there. Tried the bicycle kick and it falls to Seiwald, his countryman. Plenty of Austrians in the... Leipzig squad. They've got Seiwald, they've got Baumgartner, they've got Schlager, and the ball goes through to Alexander Nübel, he'll be confident enough to shake off that mistake, Bouba, but it was a big mistake.
It was a big mistake. I think he's gonna have a bad weekend. Alexander Nübel and at the same time Jeff Chabot, the two of them, they have to take the fault for those 2 goals.
Very true. Jeff Chabot also, yeah.
Yeah, he had a own goal.
Actually scored the first goal, Jeff Chabot. And we'll just have 2 minutes of added time remaining here. And it's going to be a free kick to Stuttgart, but they know they're beaten now. Although El Kanous going to take the free kick. The Moroccan plays it in. It's a good free kick, but headed away by Bakayoko. Headed back into the penalty area by Stuttgart. Stuttgart, well, I guess they know they've lost this one. El Kanous, the Moroccan, doing very well in this second half. The ball played once more into the penalty area, picked up by Thomas, plays it back to Wagnerman on the ball there. Joshua Wagnerman slips it forward, but no way through.
I tell you what,
Bonuani.
Since Leveling came in here, I haven't seen a single contact for him. I mean, he's been running around, but you haven't really seen any good play.
The thing is, Bouba, as we both said, Leveling isn't a national centre forward.
He's not a national.
He's good on the wings. We saw him play for Germany. He's good on the wings.
He's fast enough, and he's got to come from from one of the wings, definitely, but not in the centre.
And that's why I was surprised to see him play in the centre forward position the last couple of games for Stuttgart when they got somebody like Undav. But of course, I'll tell you who they're missing. They're missing a certain Nick Woltemade.
They do miss Nick Woltemade. They also do miss...
Doing very well at Newcastle.
That's
Nick
right.
Woltemade.
That's
doing
right.
much better than Florian Wirtz.
And if you listen to my halftime report, English fans are having a difficult name pronouncing his name,
I bet.
Woltemade.
Yeah.
So that's why I had to remind them it's called Woltemade.
Walter Messi, they call him. And there goes the final whistle. And it's Leipzig who have beaten Stuttgart by 3-1. And it's Leipzig who move within 2 points of Bayern Munich, who are at the top of the table on 24 points. But they play tonight against Leverkusen and Leipzig on 22 points. Dortmund now in 3rd and Stuttgart in 4th. So it's all very tight there at the top of the table. But when the Dragons of Bayern Munich, when they slay Leverkusen, they'll be probably pulling away again. Will they slay Leverkusen? What do you think?
I think it's definitely going to be a slay. I expect a minimum of 3 goals in that particular game for Bayern Munich. The reason I say that, of course, is because they are pretty much in form right now. And they have players that are really good. Harry Kane, Michael Olise, Luis Diaz. These are guys that can score. And don't forget their number 10 right now, Serge Gnabry. He's pretty much in form, back in form. And all of these players can score from any angle. Not, they have Jamal Musiala, who started training again after that massive Champions League clash where he broke his broke a leg. But he started training again. Hopefully, we might see him. Jamal Musiala, so interesting to watch.
Should be returning soon.
We might see him on the pitch anytime soon.
When we look at the African players at Bayern Munich, we've got a very interesting youngster. He's a German Nigerian called Wisdom Mike. He's actually called Wisdom Mike, not Mike Wisdom. A lot of people think that's the way around. Wisdom Mike, he's a very young 16-year-old German Nigerian coming through the ranks there. He's had some Bundesliga minutes.
But you know why people in Germany don't think it's called Mike? Because Mike is not expected to be a last name.
Exactly, a family name.
Yeah. But in Nigeria, there are traditions like you can take the first name of your dad.
Yeah.
It's like, you have a child, it's not going to be called, you didn't name your child Michael. Your child is not going to be called Michael Sisto, but Michael Alex.
Right. That's interesting. And of course, we mustn't forget Nicholas Jackson, the Senegalese striker. He's been amongst the goals. He's scored 2 goals for Bayern, both of them in the Champions League. Mm-hmm. He played for Bayern Munich a few times up front with Harry Kane. That doesn't seem to be enough space for both of them in the box. I think they take away space from each other, Harry Kane and Jackson. I think Jackson should be used more on the wing.
Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah, Nicholas Jackson should be more on the wing.
It's a bit difficult because you have on the the two wingers there. They are both pretty good. Michael Olise, I don't know.
Who's he going to displace?
Who is he going to displace?
Yeah,
and I don't think
very
at
true.
the moment Luis Diaz can wait.
Right,
He
Luis
should
Diaz in excellent form.
So
Luis Diaz.
that's why.
It's a very good point there.
Nicholas Jackson is a good player, but I don't think he is currently at that form compared to the two wingers there.
You can't take them off. Maybe as a substitute, if he comes on later, he should be in a position to cause some damage from the wings.
I think he's good for rotation.
Yeah.
And except if ego beats him and he wants to be a first-team player, then that's going to be difficult.
I mean, we saw him play last week for Bayern Munich in Mönchengladbach, and he was playing in front of Harry Kane, Harry Kane just behind him.
Yeah.
And there seems to be not enough space for both of them.
Yeah. The thing is, Harry Kane he says he likes to, I was looking at the heat map over the weekend, and if you see the movements, the positions where Harry Kane has been, he's everywhere but forward.
Yeah.
Especially the center. He's hardly there on the forward. So I think it's why Company chose to put him a bit more to the back, to the 10. But he's playing more 8, or sometimes even dropping back to 6, than actually playing 9.
He's everywhere.
So it's a bit difficult.
Yeah. But maybe the experiment there will carry on. Nicholas Jackson, Harry Kane. Of course, plenty of other players of African descent in the Bayern squad. Sacha Boey, you know him, of course, the French Cameroonian. Alphonso Davies slowly coming back from injury.
He's also started training again slowly.
He's a Canadian, born in Ghana to Liberian parents, Alphonso Davies. Then, of course, we've got Upamecano. He's of Guinea-Bissau. Upamecano, Serge Gnabry. He's German Ivorian. So plenty of players of African descent there. Musiala, of course, he's Polish, German, Nigerian. Michael Olise is proud to say that he stems from 4 countries: France, Algeria, Nigeria, and England.
Right.
He's got all that in them. And that makes him a really interesting player, Michael Olise.
But he always wanted to play for France, even though he's got like a really, really English accent.
Yeah, and he grew up at Crystal Palace and
That's
Reading.
right. That's right.
Yeah, and then, of course, Leverkusen, they've got quite a few players of African descent. Ernest Poku, he's Dutch-Ghanaian. He's making a name for himself for Leverkusen. Christian Kofani, he's a very good striker. He's Cameroonian.
I really enjoy Kofani, the way he plays. He's like
Cameroonian.
Yeah. Right.
And then, of course, Edmund Tapsoba, who is not a newcomer. We know him. We've known him for years. He's from Burkina Faso.
He's not, I think, the captain of the Burkina Faso team. Edmund Tapsoba, very much experienced.
Very
and also
experienced player.
Being in the Bundesliga for such a long time.
Then Leverkusen, they've got a youngster coming through the ranks there. He joined from Hertha Berlin. He's very good. He's Algerian. Ibrahim Massa, very good player, Ibrahim Massa. Nathan Teller, he's English-Nigerian. Timothy Mensah, he's Dutch-Ghanaian. Elias Ben Seguir, he's French-Moroccan. And we mustn't forget a youngster, he's a German-Nigerian, Ken Izakor. He's not very often in the lineup, but he's certainly very much part of the Leverkusen squad, Ken Izakor. And Axel Tapé, he's French-Ivorian, another PSG, Paris Saint-Germain product. So many players who learned at the academy of Paris Saint-Germain in the Bundesliga now.
Right. And when they do come to play at the Bundesliga, they thrive. They really thrive. We've seen all of them that came from the as you said, the academy of PSG. Hugo Ekitike, one of the latest.
And you just wonder how Paris Saint-Germain can afford to discard so many well-trained, well-developed players. I mean, just look at them. They're all over the place.
Right. And I think as a result of, we've talked about this before in the past, it's the type of training that French football allows players. In Germany, as a player, when you're growing up here, like, you don't spend a lot of time with the ball. They, like, you get the ball, you pass it, and then you move. This is the type of ball, and I think that had to change a bit because you see French players, when they come, they're really good with the ball. When it comes to possession football, they're
extremely
really
skillful.
Extremely skillful. So that is why they introduced what they call Funinho type of training in Germany, which is not exactly that, but it's to encourage young players to have a bit more contact with the ball. I think they just announced who the man of the match here.
And it is our friend Yann Diomande.
Yann Diomande, man of the match.
You can hear the cheers. They're really celebrating him here. I think the Bundesliga have a new star in Ivorian, Yann Diomande.
That's right. And I actually saw some of the kids there writing in French asking for his jersey.
Right.
It's a young star from Ivory Coast at the Bundesliga right
absolutely.
now. Absolutely.
I can only agree. I think he really was the man of the match.
I think so.
He was excellent. Let's just run through these score lines. They're still playing in Mainz. It's 1-1 there between Mainz and Werder Bremen. Union Berlin 0, Freiburg 0. Sorry, Bouba, no goals for you there.
Good for us. I mean, we didn't get 3 points, but we took home 1, so that's good.
St. Pauli have been beaten by Borussia Mönchengladbach by 4-0, and that result will do Mönchengladbach a lot of good, especially ahead of the derby next week against Cologne. Heidenheim and Eintracht Frankfurt, that game finished 1-1. I think that's a very good point for Heidenheim, and I think it's 2 points drop for Eintracht Frankfurt against the Bundesliga's bottom side. And of course, last night, Borussia Dortmund won by 1-0 in Augsburg, with Serhou Guirassy getting the goal there for Dortmund. It wasn't a particularly impressive performance by Dortmund, but they still got the 3 points, and they've only conceded 6 goals this season, would you believe? But it's certainly not spectacular football. And on Sunday, we've got Cologne against Hamburg and the Wolves of Wolfsburg against Hoffenheim. So plenty of stuff to look forward to. None more than Bayern Munich against Leverkusen.
Bayern Leverkusen. That is a game I am also looking forward to, going home right away from here, getting my TV on to watch that particular match.
You know, we talk a lot about the African players in the Bundesliga, Bouba, but when we look at Bundesliga 2, there are loads of African players there too.
Incredible how so many Africans are now in the Bundesliga.
In the Bundesliga 1 and Bundesliga 2.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd just like to mention one German-Nigerian. His name is Francis Onyeka, and he plays for Bochum, who used to be in the Bundesliga last season. Francis Onyeka doing so well and hitting the headlines a lot in Germany, the young German-Nigerian at Bochum. And then there's another youngster. He plays at Hertha Berlin, Boris Mamuza. He's German-Cameroonian. So we'll also be keeping an eye on the Africans in the second division.
That's right. And to be honest, for me personally, one of the areas that I have so much interest right now in the Bundesliga, well, not really the first Bundesliga, second Bundesliga, or even the third league, but also the regional league in Germany is so interesting to watch. Now, recently, I was watching Aachen, a third division side, playing against
some other
side. No, in Bonn here. Yeah. This was a really interesting match. You know, a third division side playing against a fifth regional league side. You know, Fortuna Bonn. That's right. So Fortuna Bonn against Aachen. That was a really interesting match. And I also watched Avel Abete playing against
Bonner SC. Do they still exist?
Yeah, Bonner SC still exists. Right. They're still in the regional league, and they're trying, but not one of the best in the Bundesliga. So for me personally, these are the sort of Bundesliga games I'm so interested in right now. But of course, you see so many Africans
coming through the ranks,
coming through the ranks, and like sometimes it's unbelievable. Like you see them 15, 16, 17-year-olds. It's like they're kids.
And give them the chance. Give them the chance.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. These young kids, they're coming up and they're doing so well.
But of course, there are more players of African descent in France.
That's right. I mean, obviously, this is the but I just want to give the picture that in Germany, in a couple of years, all of this is going to change.
Indeed. Let me just give you a scoreline from the Premier League. Arsenal are, of course, the leaders at the top of the league there. and they're 2-0 up in Burnley. So Arsenal in great form. They'll be playing Bayern Munich soon in the Champions League. And Gyökeres, the Danish striker, and Declan Rice scoring both goals there for the Gunners at Burnley. Still no Kai Havertz. And another scoreline that might interest our African listeners, Manchester United. They are 2-1 down in Nottingham against Forest. Forest 2, Manchester United 1. And it looks as if United might have found their way back. But they're struggling there, and they are 2-1 down. But those are not final scores, of course. Those are just score lines. So plenty to play for in the Premier League, with Arsenal looking a good bet for the title. And unless Liverpool, of course, somehow find their game again. So RB Leipzig, they march on to reclaim second place. Thanks, I would say, to a superb performance by Ivorian Yann Diomande. He was given a place in the starting lineup, and didn't he take it?
He took it. He didn't just score a goal, assisted. Well, it's an assist as well. He didn't just do that, but he had a phenomenal game.
Absolutely. And when you think that Leipzig started off the season terribly when they lost 6-0 to Bayern Munich on the first match day of the season, Stuttgart's 5-match winning run is over now. It was a decent performance, but Leipzig, in the end, probably the better side. And in second place, we just have to see what Bayern Munich do to Leverkusen later on.
That's right. If Leverkusen does perform well tonight, they might have a chance. They are currently 5th on the table. They might have a chance of actually coming forward, because they have at the moment 8 points. They played 8 games. They have 17 points. So, yeah, almost towards the end there.
Okay. Thanks for joining us in the Bundesliga. From me, Alex Sisto. Hope to see you and hear you and feel you next week.
And from me, Bouba Jalloh. Hope to feel you and see you and hear you next week. Bye for now.
DW. Made for Minds.
Hello there. Welcome to the 9th episode of this Crime Fighters series, It Takes a Village. Last time, Jane and Hope finally opened up to Mary about their miserable situation. Their mother Carol has died, and their abusive father Lucas has struck them down. Their head teacher, Principal Dennis, thought it would be best for the girls to live with at least one parent. He didn't know Lucas had been violent. Jane and Hope ran away and slept rough with their friends, the street children Leroy and Sarah, for a few days. Now they are hiding out of Mary's place, and she's promised to help them. We start this episode, entitled A Police Matter, with Mary outside Principal Dennis's office.
I hope Principal Dennis is still in his office. I have to hurry.
They're my daughters, damn it. If that arrogant teacher thinks he can keep me away from my girls, he's got another thing coming. I'll show him.
Well, that man who just came out of Principal Dennis' office was very angry. I hope the principal is in a better mood. Principal Dennis, may I?
Oh, Miss Mary, it's you. Yes, please come in. Do sit down.
Thank you.
How are you, Miss Mary?
Fine, fine. But who was that angry man who just came out of your office?
You should meet him, actually. He's the father of Jane and Hope Crystal. He came to ask me if I knew where they were. He says his daughters left for school this morning but didn't come home for lunch. He seems very concerned. And my secretary has just informed me that Jane and Hope didn't show up for class. I think I need to act now. The girls seem to have gone missing.
No, they haven't. They are with me.
Oh, that is a relief, Miss Mary. But why? Why aren't they with their father?
Well, I think you can guess from the way he left your office that he has quite a temper.
You can say that again, Miss Mary. Wait, are you suggesting he's abusive?
That's why the girls and their mother lied to everyone and pretended their father was dead. They'd run away from him because he was violent. They were trying to make a new life in our town without him. Carol was trying to protect her children.
Of course. She was very respectful of her children's rights. Oh, no. And I brought him back into their lives.
We have to go to the police and tell them about his violent behavior so we can stop him staying at the girl's house. He ought to be in jail for all the things he did to Hope, Jane, and Carol.
It might be difficult to prove.